G'day and welcome back to my hobby room. Now look, I got a big package in the mail from Creality. They've been watching my videos and noticed that I did ships, and I built some wood ships during the plague. Remember that? Great Apocalypse? Yeah, all I did was sit on my veranda and make ships. Anyhow, they thought, Harry, look, we've got these lasers. Would you like to use them to make ships? And I said, great, have you got any sharks? They didn't get the joke. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, not enough Austin Powers in their life. Anyway, look, it's a big lasery thing, and I hope it's set to bloody stun and not to bloody explode, because, you know, my track record was setting fire to things. Yeah. But look, I did manage to get it working, and I did get a result. So let's see what Harry does with lasers. This is only going to end in tears. Roll the music. Now, the three boxes that Creality sent me were the Falcon 2 22-watt laser engraver, yep, and a base for it, sort of a honeycomb sort of base to stop the lasers from, you know, disappearing off and killing sharks, obviously. And there was a cover, which later on I found was very important, because without the cover, you might get asphyxiated by the smoke. But more of that later. Now, assembly was pretty easy. It really didn't take that long, and they do provide instructions, but the writing's so small and I couldn't really understand them. I threw them away. But luckily, Creality have got a video on their website. Well, I'm showing clips of it up here, and it's very easy to put together. Whack the feet on, chuck the laser in its holder, put the blowy thing that sort of goes with it onto it, and, you know, switch it on, and bingo bongo, she is ready to go. Hardest bit was sort of getting my head around the software. So luckily they already had a demo file in there, and that was easy enough to put in, fire it up, automatically off it goes, and it started cutting it. And so I sort of, you know, basically within an hour or so, I was lasering, you know, and I was cutting away, and this thing popped out at the end. So that was fairly easy. I thought, this is not bad. The only real problem I had was when it comes to the engraving, that's fine. It's engraving away and you get the nice little aroma of sort of, you know, charred chips and, you know, of wood chips around a fire or something, you know, a barbecue smell. It's not too bad. In fact, it sort of made me a little bit hungry, you know. But then it goes to the cutting, right? And when it goes to cutting, yes, the laser does go from stun to full-on destroy, maximum power, and I was filming it really closely, right? And the smoke billowed out everywhere and all over me and all up my nose and all in my lungs. And yeah, you just don't have your face too close to the laser when it's doing the cutting. That's all I can say. Who knew? Who knew lasers made smoke? Yeah, I know. Idiot strikes again. Anyhow, so I needed the next day to sort of convalesce a bit from that. I was coughing up and a bad case of catarrh, right? Not guitar, catarrh, where it's just coughing up soot, right? Anyhow, once I was sort of over that and got my shit together, I found the cover. The cover's fairly obvious put together. It's like one of those sort of posty-peggy sort of tent things, you know? The ones that you usually take camping with your girlfriend and spend about 4 hours arguing about, and then you get into the tent and you don't have any sex. Yeah, those are the ones. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So once I'd figured that out and I got the cover on it, life was a lot better. It also included a little hole that you put a little fan, sucker. Apparently, if you do a Facebook post and you write the words exhausting, sweaty work and then quite a sucker, it gets banned. It's apparently considered pornographic posting. I'm only talking about a fan and a cover, but there you go. Yep, you got to be very careful what you say these days. Yes, although even this video might get banned for that same reasons. Those words associated together apparently as... Yes, and of course I think I used the word toxic in there somewhere, and of course you can't use that as well. Unless you put it with masculinity, then it's perfectly acceptable. Perfectly acceptable. All right, now on with the video. So with the cover on and running a few tests to get the hang of designing my own stuff and working out how I could do the stun thing to engrave and then the kill mode to cut out, and once I sort of got that all together, I thought, well, what can I make? And of course, it's a ship video, isn't it? Yes, you can tell by the hat. So I thought, all right, well, how about I do something simple? I'll just do one of my dead runs. And they're the little devices that I 3D print normally. and that's what the dead runs are, for the boats, where all the dead eyes go in, right? And it angles them all so that they line up correctly to go up to the mast, Anybody who builds a ship knows what I'm talking about. The rest of you, yeah. It's a thingy. It's a pokey thingy you put on a boaty, right? Okay, don't worry. It's a tool, okay? Just like some people say Harry's a bit of a tool. But we won't go there, will we? No. On with the video. I keep saying that. So I'd worked out the dimensions, got the whole thing. They supply a copy of Lightburn, right, which you're going to have to pay for eventually, but luckily I'm in the free zone at the moment. So I got it into that and worked it all out, worked out the cutty around the outside bit of thing, and then worked out how I could etch my name on it, put it in, put the cover on, and I did not get asphyxiated. Once I had it sucking, I did not get asphyxiated. It's very good. So the cover works really well. It's a bit fiddly to try and get the little USB sort of thing in, because the only way to make this work is either you have it right next to your computer, or you've got a dirty great big long USB lead so you can connect it to your computer, or you've got to be taking a USB stick, off your computer for the file and then go and put it in. Well, that's okay, you can sort of do that. But then once you've got the cover on, it is a little bit tricky trying to get inside. Eventually I learnt you just lift the bloody cover up, go in, stick it in, drop the cover back down, and that solved that. But I got a result. Eventually, on my first try of actually doing a proper tool, out it came. And the smoke all got sucked out the window. Bass the cat was happy. I was delirious, and I went, oh, okay, this thing actually works. It has some merit. So there you go. But one of the reasons that I actually thought this might be something useful is because it can be used for another application. So one of the things I was really interested in using this laser for, but I haven't got there yet, I've got to build my skills up, is you get kits sometimes that are pre-laser cut, right? A lot of the new wooden kits, everything's laser cut. All it is just pops out, build your thing. But if you get the old school ones, you just get the sheet of wood, right? Here's a pic, and it's just got sort of everything drawn on there, like cut around this with a fret saw, and that'll basically be the rest of your life spent cutting that out. Yeah, you know what I mean? Have you ever done one of those? Look, they're doable, and I'd built a lot of kits when I was younger. I built aeroplanes and boats and things, and yeah, the balsa kits you had to cut everything out. There were no freaking lasers in those days. No, there wasn't. Plenty of sharks. Australia's full of sharks. Yeah, come over here. Take a swim. Anyhow, so I thought it'd be really good for that. Now, as I said, I'm going to have to build my skills up a bit, but it's not that hard to get a photograph of something and then adjust the dimensions and get yourself a line drawing. Put that into software like Lightburn. I imagine there's other software is probably free, something that's not going to cost you an arm and a leg and you have to pay a bloody license fee the day you die and give a kidney for. But I'm sure there's other softwares out there. If you know other software that's quite useful for these laser machines, let me know. And that's what I'll probably use going forward once Lightburn expires. But anyhow, once you've got those shapes all worked out as line drawings, you can pop them into the software, create G-code, would you believe? It's the same as 3D printing, creates G-code. Although the G-code's not compatible. I did try that. I did try taking the G-code for my dead runs and put it in, and it doesn't understand. So it's G-code, but it's different. It's like, different version, different flavour. This is like chocolate G-code as opposed to vanilla G-code on the 3D printers, yeah. Anyhow, so once that's done, then I wouldn't have to sit there for hours with the fret saw, right? I'd be able to just basically put down a piece of wood, lay down the laser on top of it, give it the file that fits that exact shape, bang, bingo bongo, it would cut all my parts out for me. Well, that's sort of going to be down the track a bit, but I will do that one day and I'll show you how that's done, because that would be really interesting and that would be very useful. So yeah, I know I'm going to have a whole ton of people lining up at my door now going, Harry, I've got all these old kits. Can you stick your frickin' laser on it? I brought a shark. Anyway, it's just a short video because Creality asked me nicely to have a look at their laser, and it's good. It's easy to use. The software takes a little bit of getting your head around, but I just kept with the standard settings. I basically copied the settings that were in the demo, copied them into my project, and I used those settings to build my job. And it all worked. There's plenty to learn. There's all kinds of things you can do. It cuts metal, it cuts plastic. It also engraves on stainless steel in all different colours. So it does a whole lot of stuff that I don't even understand. But for me, I was just interested in what could it do for my wood ship models. There you are. Probably could even make a nice little wood deck for a ship and engrave in all the planks, so that's possible too. But all that will require quite a lot of brain power. And as you know, my brain's very busy and it's very much full of cats and curries. There hasn't got room for much else. No. And seeing it's Halloween, Creality sent me all these nice photos of things that were made on the laser with a Halloween theme. So there you go. The laser cutter can make all of these things. Isn't that exciting? Plus, they've got a special offer. There's a link in the description and there'll be a card up here where you can get up to 50% off, free gifts, and even save as much as Australian $1,200. Exclusive discounts, giveaways, Halloween sale. Yep. So hit that button now and Creality is going to give you a really good deal. So there you go. That is Halloween. And look at those pumpkins and the things. It's pretty exciting, isn't it? This is what you can do with this machine. And it's just up to your imagination. Looks like a lot of fun. I can't wait to get on and make some of those sort of things for myself. Anyhow, look, if you made it to the end of this video, there's buttons, and go have a look at the Creality website. You know, there might be something there you want to buy. Buy Creality. Yeah. All right. Oh, and of course, you can always buy me a curry. There haven't been a lot of curries bought lately. I've been starving. Buy me a curry. You just go to the website, you pledge like $3. It's a one-off, right? It's only a small curry for $3. It's pledge 2 or 3, and then I get a decent sized curry, right? And I might be able to actually eat for a week. Cost of living bloody crisis. Yeah, there you go. All right, well, Bastacat now is a bit happier. She wasn't happy when it was all smoky, I can tell you. She wouldn't talk to me after all the smoking. No. Well, that's it. It's goodbye from Australia, and it's hooroo from Harriet-Annie. Yes, Bass, it was very smoky, wasn't it? It was very smoky. Yes, I know you didn't like it. Such a criminal. No. Yes, there'll be more fish. Oh, gosh. Send money. I need to buy more fish.